Hi everyone, welcome back to the Rugby League History channel. Today I'll be doing my tips for the 2023 Preliminary Finals. Two massive games. Let's see who steps up in these matches and who's going to be the two teams that are going to make it. I'm going to be previewing the action. Last week I got both of the tips correct, but we'll see who makes the 2023 NRL Grand Final. And the first preliminary final is on the Friday night. It's between Penrith and Melbourne. This one's being played at Stadium Australia. This will be the third time that these two sides have met in the NRL Final Series. The first come in the 2020 NRL Grand Final. And the following year, these two sides met in the 2021 Preliminary Final. The overall head-to-head between these two sides is 43 matches played. Penrith have won 14, Melbourne have won 29. And this year, Penrith and Melbourne have played twice. And on both occasions, Penrith has won by 13 plus. Penrith, of course, had the week off and they were dominant against New Zealand in that qualifying final. They've had a rest and they've watched Eastern Suburbs and Melbourne go at it. And they'll be ready for this game. I believe that Jerome Luai will be back in action. He's been rumoured to return. And I believe there's got a couple of other players returning as well. As for Melbourne, they narrowly defeated the Sydney Roosters 18 points to 13 in a very tight game. But there was a bit of controversy in that match with Melbourne scoring one try off a knock-on, which it happened in the previous play. Harry Grant knocked it on. They went down the other end of the field and scored. So technically, they won that game through a bit of a controversial call, which is not something that Melbourne is ever far away from when it comes to finals games. They've won a couple of finals matches through controversial calls. But they'll go into this game with a shot. I believe that Melbourne are definitely a shot in this game to upset Penrith and make the 2023 NRL Grand Final. For this match, I'm going to have to go for Penrith to win by 6 points. I think this is going to be a really, really close game. Earlier in the year, as I said earlier, Penrith have won both matches by 13 plus. However, this is finals and it's a different story when it comes to the finals. I just think with Penrith having the week off and the fact that Melbourne have played two tough finals games, that will favour Penrith. I believe that there'll be a crowd of about 30 to 40,000 at Stadium Australia. But as I said, I will go for Penrith to win by 6 points on the Friday. And the second preliminary final is between Brisbane and New Zealand. This one's being played at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Now, believe it or not, these two sides have only met one time in the finals before this one. And it come on the 10th of September 2011, where Brisbane defeated New Zealand 40 points to 10. Of course, New Zealand recovered from that and ended up making the 2011 Grand Final. These two sides have met 47 times in the league. Brisbane have won 26, New Zealand have won 20, and there's been one draw. These two sides met earlier in the year, where Brisbane defeated New Zealand 26 points to 22 over in New Zealand, and I believe New Zealand had a full-strength squad and Brisbane had a couple of players out, yet Brisbane still managed to win. With Brisbane, they've had the week off after that dominant display in the qualifying final against Melbourne. With New Zealand, they've had two tough finals games themselves. They had that hard lesson against Penrith in week 1, week 2 over in New Zealand. That was a tough game against Newcastle, and it was only towards the back end of the match that New Zealand ended up running away with it and made the scoreline, I think, different than what the game actually looked like on paper. I believe both sides will be going into this fixture full strength, and this game will no doubt be a sellout. There's no question about that, especially with the fact that there's a large expat contingent from New Zealand that live in Brisbane. So I imagine that even though it's going to be a home preliminary final for Brisbane, there's going to be a lot of New Zealanders in the crowd going for New Zealand. And for New Zealand, this is only their 4th ever preliminary final. The first come in 2002 where they defeated Cronulla. 2003 they lost against Penrith. And in 2011 they defeated Melbourne to make the grand final. So this is only their 4th preliminary final in their 28-year history. For this match, I'm going to go for Brisbane to win by 6 points. Just like the Penrith game, this one's going to be dead close. I think that this will go down to the final minutes. Might even go down to golden point. But I just think overall this year, Brisbane's been the better team. They've had the week off, they'll be a lot fresher. So I'm going to go for Brisbane to win by 6 points on the Saturday night. So there are my tips for the 2023 Preliminary Finals. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below and let me know who you're tipping to be at the 2023 NRL Grand Final. There are going to be two massive games, but we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. Anyway, this has been Rugby League History, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Alright, tatty bye for now.